So let's conclude here. In conclusion, the IT industry is continuing to grow, and there have been some broad factors that might have had some adverse effects, but individuals are in fact continuing to be bullish. So there's a lot of confidence in the IT sector. Lack of resources and experts might hinder the growth in some areas, but resilience at the end is the key, and the IT software services tends to demonstrate that. So with this, Arun, any final thoughts?
George, in my experience, businesses across all industries rely on IT support to operate more efficiently. It's also my experience that corporate profitability is directly correlated with the spend on IT services. Now, according to all reports in the media, corporate profits increased in 2013, and that therefore ties in very closely with the results of your survey. Going forward, as the economy recovers, there is improving business sentiment and also increasing corporate profit levels. That will further drive the IT industry performance, and that also fits in with what your respondents have predicted. Thank you.
Thank you, Arun, very much. With that said, we have a couple of questions coming in. We would like to give you the opportunity to ask any additional questions. You can send your questions to info@dataincUSA.com or message us at the Data Inc. WebEx ID. And we're going to take 1 moment to give people the chance to ask the questions. And I see one coming in right now. So the first question we have is from one of the attendees. You're asking, we're stating that we gave the percentage up and percentage down flat versus the percentage down for 2014 forecast, and you're asking if you can also give if we can also give the 2012 forecast for 2013 in terms of percentages up, flat, or down. So we can see if the sentiment is up or down. If you go to Appendix A of the survey report, which we will outline, which we'll provide you with a link for at the end of the webinar, you'll be able to see all those results, and you'll be able to kind of draw your conclusions. We kind of went into it in some detail in the webinar itself, but if you look at the whole report, you'll be able to see that. So. So another question that came in. As a contract IT company, somebody asked, as an IT contract company, what can I do to stay competitive in the field? Conrad, I think you can answer that one. You want to take that one on?
Sure, George. As I said earlier, this is an industry that's maturing. Buyers are getting more sophisticated, more demanding. And I think for any company in this space, it's very critical to remain relevant both with the buyers and our employees, the technology resources. We need to keep an eye on the trends, monitor them closely, because this environment is changing so rapidly that what worked for us even a year ago is no longer necessarily the best way to operate. We need to be responsive to our client needs and our employee needs.
Great, thank you, Conrad. Looks like we got another question. And Ashish, I think this one might have you written all over it. Going back to the investments that we will see, predictions are kind of interesting. Can you expand on where you see the investments going in 2013 or 2014 from a personal perspective. Ashish, you mind addressing that one?
Yeah, sure, George. So I'll expand on the comments I made earlier when we were discussing the survey results for the top IT spending categories. And now this is my personal opinion, not the survey results.
Okay.
I think in general, most of the investments, whether in hardware, software, services, will be in the cloud and mobility areas or in some way related to these two, directly or indirectly. Geographically, I think the main IT spending growth is going to be outside the U.S. and Europe, just to reflect the growth rates of the economies. If we look at, say, hardware, I think spending on devices will continue to be primarily in the smartphone, tablet computer segments. Organizations that need to upgrade their old desktops and laptops because they cannot support Windows 7 any longer, as you know, XP goes end of life this April. They'll probably do so if they have to, but I think the PC spend will be replaced by tablet spend. And I think most of the computer manufacturers, tablet manufacturers, as you can see, have released a spate of new Windows 8 tablets. There's a lot of advertising. Spending on servers is probably going to be driven by the need to support these new devices as compared to server capacity expansion for back-end applications, which is a bit of a shift from the way things usually are on the server side. I think infrastructure investments, without a doubt, will be in cloud servers. So, the big growth is going to be for cloud service providers like Amazon, IBM, Microsoft, and so on. I think another big difference is Tier 2 or mid-sized companies are going to be spending much more on cloud service providers than their own in-house infrastructure. Software. I guess the majority of new software development spending will be directed to the support of mobile devices, social technology integration. And I think the big shift, and it started already, but I think it'll gain a lot of momentum, is the shift from packaged software products to software as a service. So if you think of how many people are still buying full-blown Microsoft Office versus subscribing to Office 365, or buying QuickBooks versus subscribing to QuickBooks Online, Salesforce, Exchange Online, the whole software as a service area. And so that shift is really going to be from licensed products to subscription services. And on the services side, and we sort of covered this earlier, the application development and systems integration, I think, will be centered around transforming existing applications to work with a lot of these new consumer devices. Remember, that used to be just PCs once upon a time. And developing new applications that are designed from scratch to support client devices other than PCs. Plus for the consumer-oriented industries, integration with social technologies. So really, as the challenge for mobile device management is now growing, and I think we'll see a lot of people offering services for mobile device management as well.
An interesting take. Thank you, Ashish. I think we have time for one more question, and it looks like it's the last question I'll take, unless if anybody else has any final questions we might receive. With the 11% of people still unemployed, what do you believe these individuals might be lacking that is preventing them from being employed? And I'll throw it either to Conrad or Sue, whoever wants to take this.
I'll take it, George. I believe in regard to this, that training on products is going to become even more crucial than it's been in the past. I think the client environments right now have become diverse, not in the core technologies that they're using, but in the products that are being used to enhance and better these core systems. Sometimes, and I've seen this multiple times in the interviewing process, where knowledge of those products, even if the experience level is not there, can become the differentiator for that person. Another suggestion that I would have is a lot of the interviews now on these jobs are becoming very scenario-based. I think it is very wise to, know your resume very well, not just in what you've done in your past projects and current projects, but in other drivers in the project, like business drivers. Why was the project done? How was it being done? What motivated them to use the technologies they used? Questions like this are becoming more and more, are being asked more and more on these interviews. And I think that the more you can show of an understanding of what you've worked on, the better off you are.
Thank you, Steve, for that.